So I don't know if you saw a couple weeks ago there was an exhibition tournament of sumo in London, and Ura, who is where usually wears the pink mawashi, got thrown by a wrist snap takedown. It was beautiful. It's all over Instagram. You can see it everywhere. It's really cool. Well, finally got myself an extra small uke. So this is what we're going to be working on because I didn't think would not work on the medium or extra large. So we've gone pretty much everybody we've had from medium all the way up to extra large. Double XL? Yeah, we had some double XL. So now we have extra small, they call it. So guys, today what I thought about is to talk about grips and entries. Because I see a lot of, so yeah, I pay attention to techniques. I have literally thousands of videos on my phone, which are videos of me trying to do something and remember how, what I did because it was good, or something that's kind of not working for me and I have to make better. But also look at, matches and see things that might be good for me to add into the arsenal, or at least know how to counter it. And one of the things that I've noticed, especially in when it comes to leg locking, but it's not just leg locking, it's also pretty much any part of your game, and this is especially important in NoGi, is sort of the gripping sequences and also the entries. So we could talk about some, both, from my guard, the gripping sequences are extremely important. And how you grip is also extremely important because if you don't do sort of the subtle differences, then your technique may not work or may be countered very easily. So unless we have some questions, guys, you know the format. If live questions get priority. So one of the things that I play around with a lot is, so Nicole has her hand forward, right? So I want to make sure I stop forward progression. So what I'm doing is I like cross grips, right? Because it allows me to do, arm drags. It allows me to go into Ude Gatames and so forth. So you can see that I cross grip, but her elbow is not that easily accessible. So at some point, guys, if you expose yourself too much, now I'm potentially making myself vulnerable because if she just snaps the head grip and can swim out, now I'm in a guillotine situation and my guard is going to get past. So when I see this, guys, so a lot of times, is there Ude Gatame? No. How about now? Now. So it's literally a flick of the wrist creates the opportunity for me to go Ude Gatame. So just pay attention to this very simple movement, guys. And this is a foundation of a lot of my movements, my attacks from the guard. It doesn't matter which side, but basically when I cross grip, especially if I can get the elbow, I'm gonna drag. It's easy. But if the elbow is not quite available, so I still cross grip, and now what I'm gonna do is turn her wrist, and I'm gonna sit up as far as I possibly can to make sure I get. She took this away from me, but that's okay. As you know well, there is things I can do. So basically, she swam her elbow in, but my entry was good enough that I could, instead of attacking the Ude Gatame, I attacked one of the follow-ups. So this is from that position. And I literally have a sequence which is very efficient. We've talked about it in the past. When you transition your grips, you don't want to be like, oh crap, didn't. Your hands are here. Why not take advantage of where you are and immediately attack something with minimal movement? So the sequence, one of the sequences that I've been working on is again, so I try to do arm drag, but she pulls it back. My hand's already in place to attack the head, or sometimes as they pull it back, I go Ude Gatame on the far side. And from here, this is going to be a finish because I got a really good bite. So basically what I'm doing is take advantage of very efficient sort of movements, which now all I'm doing is, you know, like a little bit like juggling here, and I'm constantly keep them at bay. Imagine when you got a good guy, somebody that's good at guard passing, and as you constantly attacking, they're not passing your guard. They're trying to just get rid of those dangerous grips. But for me, it's arm drag, head, Ude Gatame. My hands are here, so it literally involves minimal movement. So this is what I've been really focusing on the last couple of years. This can be also applied, and we're going to go into greater details into leg entries. So a lot of times, K guard is one of my favorite entries. So if I'm going for an arm, you know, arm bar, and I go K guard. So a lot of people, so you can see Nicole is already checking my leg, and now she's gonna get rid of the movements. So go. Oh crap! She saw the episode last week. Why did that happen? This is an entry that most people don't. I'll tell you why it happened. That entry was shit for a variety of reasons. So let's look at what made it shit. So when I'm going in, guys, so as people go in, a lot of times they go elbow deep. So if they don't go elbow deep, it's even worse. But even if you go elbow deep, she's already bringing her hips forward, and as she controls the leg that's giving me the momentum. Well, what if we do this instead? So when I go elbow deep, I'm kind of making my arm control her whole bottom part of her leg, from the knee down to her ankle. My second hand comes in, and I'm getting the momentum off my leg that's bent, and I only straighten it out to get additional momentum. Only after it's literally out of her range. This is a finish. So you can see how small changes in your game can make your entries and your attacks much more efficient and effective, rather than kind of, oh man, this doesn't work. It doesn't work because you're not doing it well enough. You're not controlling the opponent. Your grips are not good enough. Yes, it looks like we have a question.
Yes, we have two questions. First one from Keon. With turning the wrist and reaching up, do you pin your head to the shoulder to keep the arm locked to support
Yes.
the Gatame, or is it based off the bite you get with your arm?
Yes, it is very important. So whenever I do this, right? So cross grip, turn. People get lazy. So people do this. And they slip out. Slip out. Slip out. Yeah. I need that bite to be good. So you cannot get lazy. From here, I will make something happen. Even if I have extra large instead of extra small. So with extra small, you can do some things that you can't do with extra large unless you're really precise. So that is a good question. So the movement is this. So when I grip, if I feel like there's an opportunity, all I do is grip and turn. Then I'm coming up and I want to put my head on the shoulder, so that way now I control that whole side of the body. It's exactly analogous to what we're doing with the legs. Again, when I'm going in, I'm not going by the Achilles, by her heel, because what happens, people step out. A lot of times guys will show you they'll take your back from that entry. Good luck taking my back when I'm controlling that whole leg. And also, you cannot control the leg that gives me momentum. Again, instead of me going like this, I literally just go deep, confirm, and I get the initial momentum with a bent leg, and I only straighten it out when it's out of her range. Now, this is a drawback, and this is why it's good for you to train with extra small. But guys, make sure when you train with extra small, you reciprocate. This is extremely important. Reciprocate the strength. Okay? Now, you can see that with extra small, you got to be precise. If I'm not precise, I'm not going to fit my backside 90-10. So it's, you know, with people that are smaller than you, they're valuable training partners because now you got to practice the movement so you can weave your legs. I'm 5'11", so I consider myself medium, which that's what I wear and competed lightweight. But that is the biggest thing is I'm somewhat lanky, so if I cannot swim, then, you know, oh, it's just too short. No, that's an excuse. That means you're not precise enough, guys. So work your precision.
And we have one more question.
Yes, one more question, guys.
From Ensberg.
Yeah, would not be a live episode without an Ensberg question. By the way, I do appreciate your conscientiousness? No, consciousness? Conscientiousness.
Okay. Referring back to last week's episode, I was working from your preferred side control. We went over recently. My partner kept their near arm framing on my hip rather than bringing it to the other side where you showed the arm bar.
Can you lay down for me? Head over here. I believe you're talking about this.
Yes, yeah, and then.
So watch, yeah. Basically what I'll do is I'll put my weight on it. So now that arm is completely out of. So basically what you have to do is tilt your body almost. First of all, some guys, personally, once you lay down on my forearm past this, I feel like tapping pain, which means I need to move. So I cannot go past this. But even the people that can go past this, basically change the angle. That arm becomes trapped. So the only place they can do is pop it out on the side. So let's start normal. So she keeps it where it is. Yeah. It'll pop out naturally. But if they don't, again, don't forget, I hate to do this, it's extra small. So as I do this, remember this. Guys, by the way, this should be constriction. This is not, so what I do start is sort of a little past my kneecap, and then I just drive my shin in, pulling in. So, my knee just popped. yeah, it's like a snap, crackle, pop. So anyways, we're out of time, but I want to kind of make sure, guys, that is constriction. So if that arm gets stuck and they refuse to move it, shin on the neck is a viable option. By the way, I have put people out with it, guys. Be nice about it. You can do it in a very nice way. Try not to get it in fast so you need the guy in the jaw. That is one of the biggest things. All right? I'll see you next week, guys, for episode 45.